1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, congratulations, you've met the requirements to apply for the YouTube Partner Program and monetize your channel. And this is a step-by-step guide on how to do it. We know how long this journey can be for a lot of you creators, and we would love to know how long it's taken you to get from absolutely nothing to this monumental milestone. How long did it take you to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time? Let us know in the comments below. So yes, to clarify, this guide does assume that you've already met the requirements for YouTube monetization. However, if you are still working towards 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time, we have massive video guides on the subject, so check out the links in the video description just below the like button. This is the channel we are going to monetize today, the Russian vidIQ channel. The first thing we need to do from the YouTube studio is head on over to the monetization link down the left-hand navigation bar. Until your channel is monetized, this screen will show you your progress to those two requirements of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Once you've met the requirements, you'll see this glorious blue Apply Now button. By comparison, when you haven't yet met the requirements, you can set YouTube to notify you the moment you are eligible. Back on the channel that is eligible, when you click on the Apply Now button, you'll be presented with the following 3 steps that you need to work through. These include reviewing the partner program terms, setting up a Google AdSense account and connecting it to your YouTube channel, and waiting for the partner program team at YouTube to review your channel and inform you of their decision. Let's get started with step 1. On the face of it, this all seems really simple. You click a couple of buttons and you start getting money from YouTube. But it's really important to know what you're agreeing to. Essentially, this is a business contract, and YouTube has responsibilities and so do you. The first important step is to ensure your channel is set to the right country when you apply for YPP. In this example, because this is a Russian language channel, we had set the country for the channel to Russian, but obviously this doesn't apply to the monetization aspect of the channel. Plus, I can't speak Russian, so you can change your country from this link if you need to. Do bear in mind that this is one of the older pages on YouTube right now, and it may change in the future. As a side note, if you do need to change your country, you can do it through the settings in the YouTube studio, and then going to the channel link from the pop-up screen. Alright then, YouTube Partner Program terms. First things first, if you are under 18, get a parent or legal guardian to go through this with you. Don't bother ignoring this. If you do, you'll just get stuck at step 2 anyway. Next up, be aware that it's not just this document you are reading. By extension, there are loads of YouTube policies and guidelines you are agreeing to. I cannot stress enough how important it is to be at least familiar with all of what this entails. YouTube has lots of community guidelines that they enforce more than they ever have done before, and you are responsible for the content you upload to YouTube. There are also YouTube terms of service, which you should definitely check out, and since you will be earning money through Google AdSense, at least to begin with, you'll need to give their policies a once over too. Alright then, let's get into the money side of things. All of these facts and figures are correct as of the time of recording, but of course YouTube could change these at any moment. When it comes to ad revenue, the basic principle is this. When an advertiser pays $1 to YouTube to place an advert on one of your videos, you earn 55% of that revenue, while YouTube takes the other 45%. So in this example, you would take home 55 cents and YouTube would keep the other 45 cents. But we're not often dealing with dollar amounts when it comes to advertisements. Usually they're bought for cents. And so YouTube is just going to split the difference as and when it is 55% for you, 45% for YouTube. Now, of course, you are entitled to your own opinions as to whether you think that's a fair cut, but consider this. Until you monetize your channel, you operate on YouTube for absolutely free. And once you are monetized, YouTube is your distribution platform for, on average, 2 billion users every single month. For me, I think that's a fair trade. When it comes to reporting these numbers in the YouTube studio, your estimated revenue is calculated after YouTube takes its 45% cut. So this number should be somewhere close to the final figure you earn. However, do note that your CPM figure does not take into account YouTube's cut. The RPM figure does factor this in, however. When it comes to monetization, RPMs and CPMs are all a bit next level, but if you do want to know more, we have a dedicated video right over here. I should also note that when it comes to YouTube's subscription service, it's the same cut, 55%, 45%, but with things like super chats and memberships, that cut is slightly different. You get 70% and YouTube keeps 30%. But those are things that are, again, a bit next level when it comes to monetization. The next thing you need to be prepared for is the delay in payment. If you earn $10 on Monday, don't expect that money to arrive in your bank account on Tuesday. I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. Not at all. You must reach the minimum payment threshold by the end of a calendar month to trigger a payout from YouTube. Currently, that is set to $100 or the equivalent amount in your currency. When that requirement is met, it can take up to 60 days for that payment to arrive in your account. If you don't meet the minimum threshold in 1 month, don't worry, you don't lose the money. It simply accumulates until you trigger a payout. That is an expectation many creators need to be accepting of when they first monetize their channel. It's likely that in your first month as a monetized channel, you may earn $20 to $50, and it could be a few months before you trigger that payout, and it could be up to 3 to 6 months before you receive your first YouTube paycheck. And that's actually a great question to hand off to you creators again who've already been monetized. How much did you earn on YouTube in your first month as a monetized channel? Comments below, please. Along with all of the other terms that you should read, be aware that YouTube is not responsible for applying any local taxes to the revenue you make from your channel. In short, it likely is taxable revenue wherever you live in the world, and I highly recommend consulting a tax expert in your region for guidance. Once you are ready, check the box and click on Accept Terms to move on to Step 2. On the YouTube side of things, first of all, click on the Start button, at which point you'll be prompted to log into your Google account again, since this is quite an important update. I'm afraid I can't really help you with your username and password. You either know it or you don't. Next up, you'll be asked whether or not you have an AdSense account, and this is where the information I can provide you is a little limited. And that's because we can't really fake creating an AdSense account. It's not really practical. But there are 2 things you need to consider with your AdSense account. You have to be over the age of 18 to create an AdSense account, which brings us back to step 1, when a parent or a legal guardian should be walking through this YouTube monetization setup with you. Also, ultimately, you'll be wanting to take this money out of your AdSense account into a bank account. And again, that's going to require some verification, which you should do at least with a parent or guardian. So if you are creating a brand new AdSense account, make sure you are following all of the instructions on screen, and we'll take you back to our application as we already have an AdSense account. If you already have an AdSense account, confirm that you do, and then you'll be asked to sign into that account. I'll apologize now for the excessive amount of blurring you're about to see on screen. This sign up screen will show you your current AdSense details along with the YouTube channel you're about to associate your AdSense account with. All that's left to be done here is to click on Accept Association. You may temporarily end up on an AdSense screen, but ultimately you now need to redirect yourself back to the YouTube monetization screen at this point. And that is it. You've successfully applied for the YouTube Partner Program. Now comes the waiting game. There's no doubt about it, once you've applied for the YouTube Partner Program, your biggest question is, how long is this going to take? Let's get the official YouTube answer first. On YouTube's own support page for monetization application, they state that once your channel is under review, it typically takes about a month to receive their decision. Having said this, for most people, the application process is a lot quicker, and we ourselves can prove that. Very recently, we submitted 2 channels for monetization. We did that on a Friday afternoon, and by Monday morning at 3 AM, we had been accepted into the YouTube Partner Program for those 2 channels. A total of 60 hours. Now, if that type of story interests you, we actually documented it over here on this video. Well worth a look. Also, something else that's really important to note is that while your application is in progress, you won't earn any monetization. You have to be accepted and actually monetize those videos before you get any income. There's no backdating on any of your videos. And then you have to consider the worst case scenario. Your application gets rejected. Yep, it sucks, but it often happens when creators don't follow YouTube's guidelines and policies from the start. You will get some feedback from YouTube as to why your channel was rejected, but it's often vague and never specifically tells you what videos you need to fix. The good news is you're not permanently rejected from the YouTube Partner Program. You are allowed to reapply in 30 days, which should give you time to fix the problems that are on your channel, if you know what they are. If, on the other hand, you are accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, you'll see a welcome message in the YouTube Studio and you'll be able to start monetizing videos immediately. Your monetization screen will look more like this, and you may gain access to the copyright matching tool so that you can start protecting your content on YouTube. If you want to learn more about the basics of monetizing your videos, then we've got the beginner's guide over here, and if you want to learn more about that copyright matching tool, we've got another video down here. Congratulations, welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. Enjoy the rest of your video making and indeed money making day.